All right, guys. Our next guest is currently undefeated at a perfect 7-0 and will be taking on John Lineker at UFC Fight Night 83. He has been nicknamed No Love because of his all-business attitude in the cage and in training, but we're expecting a very friendly version today on the show. Cody Garbrandt, welcome to Submission Radio. How's it going, man?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me back.
Now, Cody, right off the bat, we have to ask, how many hours do you think you spent in the tattoo chair?
Oh, man, too many. That's the result of a neck tattoo. So I ran out of room and that's for my tattoos. So I was like, yeah. But no, I have over 100, probably hundreds. I've been getting tattoos when I was 13 or 14 years old. So
wow,
jeez. Yeah. Between the two of us, Dennis and myself, we don't have a single tattoo. You obviously, like you just mentioned, got quite a lot. Did you plan on having so many when you got your first one, or did you kind of just, get another one, and pretty soon most of your body was covered?
Yeah, I got them. It was like tattoos. A lot of them have meaning to me, and just I like the artwork, and I had buddies that were tattoo artists, and I was always in their shop. We'd always hang out at the local tattoo shop. So we'd be in there and say, all right, we're gonna get tattooed. So we just, I guess, kind of was a kick-it spot and started getting tattooed, and that was it.
Well, that neck tattoo that sits on your throat, that doesn't look fun. Was that the most painful one, and why did you decide to get one there of all places?
I got there for many reasons. Like the tattoo has a lot of meaning towards it, with the diamond, the self-made lettering, the wings. But I got on my neck just because I don't really care, what people say or how to judge you off of their appearance or whatever. I know that I'm a good person at the end of the day. So a lot of people do get judged or classified with their tattoos or their appearance. The world that we live in today is all about, it's very judgmental, and I just, it's like, hey, I do my own thing. I've always done my own thing, and that's what I wanted to do at the time, and I have no regrets about it.
Well, we could imagine it would be a very, very painful one. Was that the most painful one that you've gotten, or what was that tattoo that stands out to you as the most sort of brutal one to get?
My stomach, I have one on my stomach that wasn't too pleasant to get. I was younger when I got it too, and I was super hungover. So I don't know if that contributed to it, but that shit hurt for sure on my stomach. The neck, I think I was going into the tattoo session fuck it, this gonna hurt. I'm I think I talked it up to myself in my head, it was gonna be so painful that I kind of psyched myself out. And then actually when I started getting tattooed and I was 5 hours deep in, I was like, oh, this ain't that bad. It still sucks, don't get me wrong, but I just think that I try to make sure in my mind that it was gonna be the worst thing ever. And so that approach to it kind of helped out. But yeah, it definitely hurt.
For sure. Now, Cody, we're not on Tinder, but we've seen a tweet on a Tinder profile with your pictures on it under the name Tommy. What's the story there? Is that is that really you under an alias? Are you Tommy on Tinder? Because if it is, I don't think it works because the tattoos are ruined.
It's hilarious. I actually did have a Tinder. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
And I did have a Tinder. And then I went to reset it, and it made me some 56-year-old dude, took all my pictures away. Tinder really, it screwed me, man. That was a gold mine right there. Traveling, meet different people. But yeah, I don't know. I saw that on Twitter. Some lady tweeted me that, and I thought that shit was funny. And just the bio, he's an average Caucasian male. Named Tommy. I was losing it, but yeah, that's just classic that people do that, catfish other people. I've actually been catfish a few times. Man.
You have been? Oh man, you gotta tell us the story. What's your worst catfish experience?
Oh, I've some crazy catfish stories. I think the first time I was catfish, I was probably 17. I was 18. I think it was down at college. I went to college in South Carolina. We had our laptops and everything. And Skype. Skype's a dangerous tool. I met the girl offline or whatever. So I'll get on Skype. So I had her on Skype. We started talking. Actually, one thing led to another. And, I'm waiting for her to get on the screen. She's on the screen. It's black. 2 months later, I get a Facebook message saying, hey, add me. And I couldn't add any people because I was over the friend limit. And she sent me a picture of me laying there, on the screen, just chilling. And I was like, oh, man. She's like, oh, if you don't add me, I'm going to put this on the internet. I'm like, well, it's not the worst picture I could be on there. It's not really. But yeah, she catfished. So that was my first interaction with being catfished. And so some other ones that happens. I've actually kind of gotten very smart about it. I've looked into, I've been watching Neve on Catfish and really getting down on these catfishers. They're smart and clever.
I feel like Team Alpha Male needs like a catfish program, and you should be the host of it. You mentioned Tinder just a while ago, and I'm curious, Cody. Out of all the hotspots that you've used Tinder before, what was your favorite? What was the best gold mine when you were traveling around?
Las Vegas, hands down. Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. We're going to be in Vegas.
You better you get off the plane. You get off the plane. You change your bio. Say, hey, I'm in Vegas for a couple of days. Let's hang out, get a drink, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, it's there's so many girls and just people to choose from. It's like, oh, it's awesome. I think Tinder and Vegas is a gold mine for sure.
I feel like you do well with Tinder in Australia. When you come down to Australia, just give it a go, see what happens.
Oh, I would love to come to Australia. I'd love to come. I was actually going to, was talked about fighting on a while ago, cards we were trying to set up on a fight that didn't actually happen in Adelaide, is it called? Adelaide?
Adelaide. Yeah, you were going to fight on the Adelaide card.
Adelaide. Yeah. So I was like pumped to go over there. I was like, sweet, I just wanted to go over to Australia, but hopefully, man, they can fly me out for maybe a guest fighter in the how you say that, Brisbane?
Brisbane.
Yeah, it's like our version of Brisbane. They call it Bris Vegas.
Yeah.
How about that?
Bris Vegas. I'll be swiping right ladies all day if I get to go there.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about your upcoming fight. You're obviously a Team Alpha Male guy, but you did go down and do some cross-training at Greg Jackson or Jackson Winkeljohn's for this camp. Tell us about the experience and, what was it like training down there?
It was cool, getting, change scenery, train with different styles. I believe that every camp, obviously they have their own style. You go in there, every coach is, drilling and what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So I think a lot of the core group of guys or females or the fighters there get that, that style, that style. So it's good to have that different looks, you know what I mean? It was right before I jumped into camp, so it was like I'm getting different looks, I'm adjusting, I'm adapting, and getting to work with, Coach Winkeljohn, Coach Gibson, Coach Jackson, and being around, like John Jones and, Holly Holm and all these other amazing fighters they have out there. And just, it was nice, it was nice to go out there and just, get a different look and mix things up, When you're in camp, you're in training, not even in camp, but I'm training all the time, so I'm out here in the gym every day, a couple times a day, even when I don't have a fight lined up. It's just, this is my profession. That's what I love to do. I love to train. I love to get better. So it's like, sometimes you're not like getting burned out, but it's nice to have a little different, different scenery and different partners, different goes, different looks. So keep advancing your skills. So it was nice to go out there and check out New Mexico and Albuquerque, and so I enjoyed it.
Just on a side note, did you happen to take the Breaking Bad tour when you were over there, where like you sort of go around and look at like some of the scenery from the show? Are you a Breaking Bad fan?
Yeah, I've actually watched a few episodes. I think I kind of was getting into it a little bit, and then
there's the house, and apparently I don't know if you watched this episode, but there's the one episode where they throw the pizza on the roof. And actually what happens is the people that live in that house always complain because people go down to the house and throw pizza on the roof. So you need to go over there and throw some pizza on the roof, just secretly, under Tommy or something.
The next time I'm there, I'm going to throw some pizza. That'd be awesome. That sounds fun. I was only there a week, so I was there training and just did some other things, checked out some food spots, and went up to the mountains and trained. It was pretty fun. So. Yeah, man, it was enjoyable. I'm glad to be back home. Got right to business and jumped in my training camp, so it worked out really good.
Do you think you'll go back and train at Jackson Winkeljohn's in the future as well?
I don't know. I probably will. I have a relationship with the coaches there, and Brandon Gibson. Actually, he just came out. He came out last week and was training me for a few days. Actually, cornering me in the fight night. Along with Cowboys, so I don't know. I like him. I like him. Like working with him, learning off him. He's a very dedicated and committed coach, and but I love to hear. I think we have something that a lot of other gyms don't have, as far as the training partners, coaches, the schedule that we have, how we approach it. We just named Justin Buckles our head coach here, and he's cornered so many title fights and been a fighter and knows what it takes to be and fight at the highest level. So we have Chris Holdsworth in here, where he's taken over our MMA jiu-jitsu practices. We have just Danny Castillo as our wrestling coach. He's a phenomenal wrestler. He's really knows for really dedicated. So man, the gym has been amazing. It's the energy that we haven't had in a while, and I'm super excited for the future. This camp's been great. I'm having some of the best camp I've ever had going to a fight. I'm injury free for the first time in a while. I'm firing on all cylinders. I'm super excited to go in February 21st and close my will against this dude.
I wanted to ask you also, and I guess take it from what you just said, you're not leaving Team Alpha Male anytime soon, but we've also seen your teammates and guys like Joseph Benavidez and Lance Palmer recently go over and train at Team Elevation, which happens to be TJ Dillashaw's new home. Do you see yourself ever going over there and, giving it a go, seeing what the place has to offer? Not in terms of looking for a new camp, but just maybe doing cross-training there.
Well, fuck no. I would never go to Elevation. No, I wouldn't go there. They're going out there and training with TJ. They have previous relationships with them, so it's whatever, but they're going to come back and train with us in the team. I don't know how well that's going to go over. I'll probably end up fighting TJ in my career. So I guess, I'll focus on this fight. I guess we'll have to talk about that when it comes. They're continuing to train with TJ, basically the enemy, and Dwayne and all those guys. So I don't know. I really haven't tried to focus on that too much this camp. I know they've gone out there, and I've had Lance corner me my last 4 fights, and so I mean he's from Ohio, he's my boy, he's like one of my good friends, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like you're gonna go out there and help that dude. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna go out and help that dude. It's not even on the team. I understand you have a friendship, whatever, this and that, but I don't feel comfortable, with it. But hey, I'm focused on myself. I'm doing what I needed to do to win these fights and further my career. So that's all I can worry about.
Sure.
At this time.
Just quickly though, you mentioned that you don't think it's going to go over well. I mean, do you think that's kind of, I don't want to say trouble brewing, but do you think that could sort of boil over at some point?
No, it's like really, man. It's like if you don't believe, believe in our system, believe in what's going on here and what we've as Team Alpha Man. I've only been here for a short amount of time, but I came here and 1-0. 1-0. Got to work, got busy, trained hard. Dedicated myself, became this lifestyle, mixed martial arts, and got into the UFC. 7-0 now, about to come up with my biggest fight of my career. If you, I don't know if you don't believe in it, like how many champions and fighters they've produced through their system. Like I don't know, like I think they just have doubt. People have doubt. They search for a little bit of doubt in them, and they want to go and find the right answer. Well, this is going to get me here. This is going to get me there. I guess it is good, to go and train. Like I'm for going to cross training. I think it's great. I think it's it's good to cross train with other gyms. You go in someone else's gym and you're not their dude, you're not their fighter. You got an X on your back, and that's like, I love that shit. You go into someone else's gym and they want to take you out. That keeps you, sharp and want to learn and stay hungry. Stay hungry. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it'll come down to that. When either I have to fight TJ or Faber has to fight TJ or one of our teammates from Alpha Male has to fight TJ. We'll have to, sit down and be like, hey, what's up? What's you gonna help TJ out, or are you here or there? And that's basically cutting the fat from the team. If you don't want to be here, then Faber's not holding us, or no one's holding you here. Like you can obviously go and do your own training or whatever you feel like is going to get you to the next level. You know what I mean? I respect that any fighter that if you don't feel that you're going to get the best that you need here, go somewhere else. Fine, cool, but don't go about it how you know what I mean. Don't go about it the right way. Is what I was getting at.
Now, getting back into your fight, Cody, after your last fight against Henry Burns, he said that you really wanted to fight a guy who would scrap with you. In comes John Lineker. Did you expect the matchup, and do you think he's the guy that can give you that fight?
Yeah, it's a guy that I can really show my skills off with. This guy that comes forward, the guy that comes to fight. I've asked for this fight for 8-9 months. He seems to forget. He wants to tweet me some shit about don't run. I've never ran from a fight in my life. I'm just in his head. He's scared. He wants. He wants the only way he wins fights. If you look at all his fights, is that he lures people into brawls, because really in a brawling situation you have a 50% chance of winning or not. In a brawl, hey, I can say fuck it, brawl too. I'm a better fighter than him wherever it goes. The ground, stand up. I'm faster than I'm meaner than him. I hit harder than him. So he's just a brawler. That's all he is, and he wants to try to get me to go. He knows I'm a better fighter, so he's like, hey, don't run, just brawl with me. Like a lot of these fighters do, they check their egos. I'm a smarter fighter than that. If I want to brawl them, I can out-brawl them. But, this is a great fight for me. Now you got to go back home, close to my hometown, have my hometown support, go in there, put on a performance, and against a very tough guy, it'll lead me into the top 10. And, keep just climbing that ladder until, I get my title shot, become the world champion.
He's, it's interesting that you say that he's a guy where you can look really good against him, because I guess a lot of people would consider him a threat in the division. He's known for knocking guys out, and that's exactly what he did against Francisco Rivera. How do you plan on dealing with his KO power?
KO power? I don't really see his KO. I mean, if you get hit by that shit, you deserve to get hit by that. I mean, he can't throw a straight punch to save his life. He throws, I think honestly, he closes his eyes and swings when he's in the pocket. I have, an extensive boxing background. My skills are heavily developing, with working with Buckles and all these coaches. So it's, I have a perfect game plan for him. It's I'm going to fight at my pace, dictate where the fight goes. He's going to be dancing to my tune. He's going to go, so, I don't know. Everyone wants to say he has knockout power, but it's the same thing. I've dropped everybody that I fought from amateur all the way up. I've not touched someone's chin that hasn't dropped, hasn't fell, has not been on the canvas. So he's coming up to my weight. He wanted to sit down and beat up on 25-pounders and miss weight. He's been defeated by the scale 4 times. So right there, he's mentally weak. So if it goes into a deep fight where he has broken before, 4 times, not once, 4 times from a scale, not making weight. Half the battle's making weight, So he broke there. He's mentally weak, I'll drown him. Wherever it goes. But I want to take him. I want to knock him out. I'm going to get the win no matter what. But I keep visualizing a huge knockout, me just pounding his face, and that's what I look forward to. I just, weather the storm is going to come out. Gun slinging, throwing those double hooks, left, right to the body, right to the head. Very telegraphic with his punches, and he has the same. All his fights are the same. It's right hand to the body, left hook to the head, and then he gets the people bailing, and then he kind of like it's like tomahawk left hook, like double left hook at him. Mm-hmm. So just basically, man, I'm just gonna pick this dude apart. I'm too fast for him. I hit too hard. I'm excited for it. I've asked for this fight. This is a fight that I've asked for, that I really wanted. And it's happening at the right time, time of my career, and I'm very, very thankful to go against a game opponent. Don't get me wrong, I respect him, but I'm not going to fear him. I think a lot of people go in there, oh, he hits hard, this and that. That's who to say. Who says he hits hard? You know what I mean? For me, anyone can throw from their waist and hit hard. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to hit. You gotta be able to hit the person. So I think I'm just too elusive on my feet for him, and once he gets tagged up, he'll be trying to come in for a knockout. He's just running into so many counters that he's not going to know where he's at.
Well, John was very successful at flyweight, like we mentioned, and right in line for the next title shot. He's ranked number 11th and expected to have similar success at 135. If you beat him, even though you're unranked, do you feel like that puts you right in the mix with the best at bantamweight and sets you up for a potential big step up?
For sure. This is what I want. This is the fight that I wanted. This is how I have it mapped out. I fight with some of the best fighters in the world every day. My skills. I look at it like this: when the light shines the brightest, that's when I perform the best. When a lot of people at this stage or pressure or whatever it is, like, oh, it's a huge fight. Some people don't tend to, early on in their career, don't really get to their skill set. It takes them a few 4 fights. I'm ready. I've been ready. I want the big fight. That's what I get up for. That's what gets me off the couch and I do the extra work and I put the extra time in. I'm always training hard, but there's a motivation of, you can visualize yourself winning and winning the fight, and then, but at the same time, you gotta watch, gotta visualize yourself getting beat, because that'll motivate you too. That'll make you get up, make the, get the road work in, and yeah, this definitely, this win right here definitely puts me up in the, definitely has to rank me. This guy is, they're talking about him running through the division, this and that. Then they go out there and deliver a great performance, knock him out. I want to fight another guy in the top 10. That's my goal. I'm here to challenge myself. I got into fighting because I absolutely love it, but I'm also here to challenge myself as a human being. We have a short window for this career. I don't want to pad a record or take easy fights, because it's really no fight's easy. You train hard for every fight, so it's like, why not fight a tough person or a person that you're gonna win momentum from? You know what I mean? So this fight, it's perfect for my career right now.
Yeah, well, for a while there, your past teammate TJ Dillashaw was the champion, and now with Dominick Cruz being champion, TJ Dillashaw obviously leaving Team Alpha Male, does that kind of open the door for you in a way? Because before, I know you wanted to become champion, but you sort of had that thought in the back of your mind where a teammate is champion. Now that your teammate isn't champion, does it sort of get you a bit more excited because you got a guy like Cruz who's champion, and that's someone that, obviously you'd be very interested in fighting?
When TJ was a champion, it didn't matter to me. My goal's been, since I was 13, to be a world champion, with TJ being my teammate and being a world champion or not, I wanted to be a world champion long before I knew who TJ Dillashaw was. And, so obviously that would have been awkward, maybe weird, the team split up, but that's over with, and Cruz is a champion, and I'm climbing the ladder to get my shot of what I've dreamed of and thought for so long. But I like fighting. They were great, they're great fighters. It was great to have TJ in the room and kind of have a judge of where you were at with the world champion. You know what I mean? Right there's the world title right there. You're going with the world champion every day. And it's good. It's confidence, it builds confidence, definitely when you're going with the world champion like that, and to have him in your room, and just know that you're closer and closer to your goals.
Here's the other, and that's a very good point. Actually, it's almost like you've already fought the former champion before in a way. Here's where it gets tricky though. If Urijah wins the belt, because he's probably going to be fighting Cruz next, considering that you guys are still teammates, does it complicate things for you? In terms of your title hunt, which is what you want eventually.
Yeah, if Urijah, be a champion, I think he would, beat Cruz's next fight. We talked about it before. He would go out as champion, retire. Why? What? Urijah has done so much for the sport, and been a world champion, been the featherweight. He's been the featherweight king. Of WEC. People forget to seem to forget. Urijah, ruled that era for a very long time. Fought some of the best fighters. It's like, what else did he have to prove? He wins the title and go out storybook ending. Boom, done. And he goes 2-1 against Cruz, wins the world title, and then just goes on and lives his life. Does a California kid what he does. He's always in the gym. He has very other business endeavors. We've been talking about that. That's a perfect storybook ending. So then the title would be up for grabs. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could ever fight Urijah for sure. Never. I would never want to. And I don't think that would ever. It's a possibility. He's only got a few more fights left. Maybe one. The Cruz fight wins. So yeah, I hope that never had to come down to it. He's given me so much in my life and helped out so much. With letting me on the team and just opened a bunch of doors for me. That I would never want to fight him. World title or not, if that's where something happened to do, I would really probably walk away from it, just because I just have so much respect for Urijah and just a human being and the person that he is.
Oh, completely understandable. I just want to confirm, though, you mentioned about Urijah Faber potentially, winning the belt and then, retiring and stepping away, not from the sport, but from active competition. Is that sort of a theory, or is that something that you guys actually talked about? I just want to confirm what you said there.
Yeah, talked about it. What else would you do? You beat Cruz, who just, beat Cruz for the title. And,
is that something that he said to you that he's going to do?
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it. Fight with Cruz, it's a storybook ending. You've had this career of, being champion and fighting back, losing the title, coming back, dropping a weight class, losing a close fight to the champion, another title fight, losing these close title fights, and then coming back and you win your last fights and winning the title. That's a storybook ending. That's how, when I want to be done with my career, I don't want to have to crawl away from the UFC. You know what I mean? I want to walk with my head held high, so that I've done everything that I could to my best ability, and I want to be some of that, the sport and passion I love for so long. A lot of our fighters don't get to do that. A lot of fighters crawl away from fighting and it leaves a bad taste in their mouth. I want to, remember these years that I've been blessed with and these opportunities I've been blessed with to be able to walk with my head held high and say, hey, I did every single thing that I could with my God-given abilities to, be the world champion and have a longevity in my career. Not to crawl away from fighting, to be able to walk away with my head held high and be like, hey, go on to the next chapter of my life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, Cody, as we wrap up this interview, and I really appreciate your time, we know it's sort of gone a little bit longer than we planned. We just have a couple of fan questions for you before we let you go. You've got some fans all around the world, and they're wrote in with a couple of questions, so we picked a couple of the best ones. First one comes from username Under the Oak. He's wondering, are you still planning to get more tattoos?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm always have ideas of tattoos. I have projects. I have a lot of that whole back piece I want to get done. It's just about finding the time to get it tattooed. I hate being out of the gym, so that's one thing. Usually right after a fight, I get tattooed. Take that week off of training and get tattooed. So yeah, definitely more tattoos in my future.
There you go. A question from Rusty Trombone. He wants to know, even everybody knows, obviously, you and Paige used to go out in the past. Is it ever awkward when the two of you are training together in the gym?
No, not at all. My focus is, the gym is my getaway. I get in there, I get focused. I get, ready to go to practice for an hour and a half, however long the training session is. Go 100% with intensity and focus on getting better. So, it's we're adults and, we respect each other and respect our careers.
Final question from Steve Coldstone. He goes, how do you feel about the CSAC decision to ban extreme dehydration, and would that ever affect you with your weight cut to 135?
I was kind of different about it, when it first came out, but it's like, it's not going to affect me from, I stay super lean. I stay very strict to my diet. I'm only 10 pounds over right now. I've been kind of hovering around about 146 pounds for the last 4 weeks. So I like to stay light in training camp, and that's how my body's going to fight. I'm going to fight probably 147, 150 pounds on fight night. So I like to train and, output at this weight. So, yeah, my weight cut's never an issue. But, yeah, I think that, the IV helps out a lot, with putting, hydrating yourself. I think that it was a good thing, that we got to cut that weight and be able to rehydrate so well with an IV. But then again, on the other hand, it will stop people from, drastic weight cuts, that can be very, not healthy, unsafe for their career. So, I don't know, there's a lot of pros and cons to it, I think. But if you're, but yeah, it's not going to affect me from 35.
There you go, Cody. We're going to let you go. Just quickly before we do, what's the official prediction? Give us a lowdown. How are you beating John Lineker at UFC Fight Night 83?
How do I beat John Lineker? Any way I want. Any way I pick it. I see an opening I'm going to go for. It's going to be a knockout, choke out, slam on his head, whatever. I'm just going to go in there, let the fight unravel itself and let my skills, just impose my will on this dude for however long it takes to, knock him out or choke him out unconscious. But this fight would definitely be with my hand raised and John Lineker walking away with an L.
Well, guys, tune in and watch Cody take on John Lineker in the matchup that promises fireworks. Fight Night 83 takes place on February 21st in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and will be Feb 22nd in Australia due to the time difference. Don't forget to follow Cody on Twitter at Cody_NoLove. And if you see him on Tinder, remember it's not really him, especially under that Tommy profile. Look out for the catfishes. Cody, thanks so much for your time and chatting to us. Good luck in your fight, and hopefully we see you possibly down in Brisbane in March.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love to run into you guys. Thanks for having me, as always.